Hello, my name is Ana Paola Montoya Ayala. I am studying in Campus Eugenio Garza Lagüera. My ID number is A1280528 and I'm recording this video for our math project. Well, first of all, I'm going to explain in this video 3 of our conclusion questions that we have. The first question is, what are the environmental consequences in a global scale of other nuclear disasters and use of nuclear weapons? Well, first of all, a nuclear explosion can reach a temperature of millions of degrees centigrade, which instantaneously vaporizes all human tissue. Also, causes buildings, houses, and types of construction collapse, and inflammable materials and substances turn into fire, burning everything that is nearby. Also, at a larger scale, nuclear disasters leave a very highly and radioactive contamination in the atmosphere, causing malformations, cancer, and death. The second question is, what do you think and feel about these consequences? What will be a solution proposal for this situation? Well, we think that we should be more conscious of what we do to our world, because sometimes people are not as cautious as they should. We have only one planet in which we can live by now, and we are destroying it because of our lack of responsibility and precaution. We know that it will be very difficult to stop completely the use of nuclear energy because a lot of the world's energy comes from there. So we think that the most convenient and viable solution is to take a lot more of precautions and safety rules in nuclear plants, and we should not break them, because as we can see, most of the nuclear disasters had happened because of design failures. We should make better designs for such dangerous things as nuclear plants. The third question is, how did we feel working like this? Did we like it? Was it difficult? What did I like the most of working with my teammates in this form? Well, we consider that it was not a very good project mostly because it's very difficult for us to agree and get in contact with people from other campuses. Also because our campuses are very far away from each other. We have Santa Catarina and Garza Lagüera. So we had a lot of trouble trying to contact our classmates, and that's why we had to delay a lot our project. And that's why also that we could not get together personally and record the video all together. So we decided to split the video and everyone had to record their parts, and at the end we are going just to join all the parts and make a single video. But we know that this is not always a good idea because at the end the video can be a little bit different. But despite of that, we make a lot of effort and we finished our project correctly.
We will solve y equals 5 to the x. First we substitute the x values. Start with -2. That will give us 1 over 5 to the second power equals 1 to the 25th. Then -1, 1 to the 5th to the first power equals 1/5. Then 0, 5 to the 0 gives us 1. Then we substitute with 1, it gives us 5, and then with 2, 5 to the 2 gives us 25. Then we graph -2, 1/25, 1/5, 0 and 1, 5, 25. This line over here will always be closer to 0 but never will reach 0, and this will keep going up higher.
Part 2 explains everything that has to do with the context of Chernobyl. The nuclear accident that happened in the city of Chernobyl in April 26 of 1986 in the country of Ukraine, it was thanks to some faulty difficulties with the operators that worked on the factory. The poor citizens of Chernobyl needed to evacuate it, but sadly some died due to radiation damage in their body. The fire in the radiation lasted days and the radiation expanded all to our atmosphere. Two examples of growth would be the income of a soldier, because a soldier gets an increase of rank, then he will get an increase on his wage. The population of the world has been growing since 2012 and will keep growing. Two examples of decay can be the number of immigrants in the USA. If Trump gets to put a wall, then much less immigrants will cross the border. The number of people infected with influenza, since the vaccine of influenza was released a lot of years ago and there are almost no people with influenza.
I'm Rodrigo. Now let's talk about the nuclear energy. The nuclear energy for us is not too good to have because it can cause a global catastrophe like we see in the Chernobyl accident. A lot of people a lot of people die. The ones that survive get diseases like mostly cancerous diseases, and they die by the days. We don't think that the nuclear energy it's a clean energy because even if there is no an accident or a catastrophe or something like that, it is contaminating the air, the water. It is generating pollution, dangerous pollution that kill animals and get and sick people, even if they didn't know. Hi, my name is Mucio and I am from Repate Garzalora. I'm going to explain what is exponential growth and exponential decay. The exponential growth is when you have a base amount of something and it increment continuously in a certain period of time. The exponential decay is when it's just the same thing but it goes downwards. That means that you have negative quantities at the end of the graph. I'm going to explain what is the equation or the function for the exponential growth. It is y equals 3 to the x. And the graph looks like this. You look for a base amount that is here in this graph. You can change it by adding or subtracting the amount of here, and you go like this. It is exponential growth continuously.
I am Ángel Sobrevilla and I am from Campus Santa Catarina. Are you aware that there is a nuclear energy plant in Mexico? Where is it? Do you think it's safe? And do you agree with the fact that there is a nuclear energy plant in your country? We didn't aware that there is a nuclear plant in Mexico, but we investigate that there is a nuclear plant here in Mexico in the Gulf of Mexico, in Veracruz. We don't think that it is safe to have a nuclear plant near to a city, because even a small accident can cause a bigger disaster. We are not agree of having a nuclear plant in our country because if something happens, if an accident happens, we will have a lot of human loss where someone we know and love could die. And we as a country doesn't like that to happen. Could the Chernobyl of 1986 nuclear disaster have been prevented? How? Once the explosion happened, was there any way to stop the radiation? Do you think that the radioactive pollution generated by this disaster reached Mexico? Yeah, it could be prevented. The authorities of the Soviet Union want to install as quickly as possible the nuclear plant, so they ignored all the security procedures. If the government will not have ignored all these security procedures, the disasters will never happen. We don't know one specific way to stop the radiation, but as the government want to keep this in secret, we lost many lives because of this. The evacuation was not very good and low. In Ukraine, there was more than 5,000 deaths because of this. The bad evacuation and the lack of information. We don't think that the radiation could reach Mexico because there are a lot of kilometers between us and there. Are data that say that the first distance that radiation reached was Ukraine. Thank you.